The movie begins with Lana, a 40-year-old woman who teaches at a local high school. She lives with her husband and young daughter. One night, while lying in bed with her husband and daughter, her husband tries to touch her back. However, she quickly pushes his hand away. Shortly after, she lets her daughter play with her. The next morning, Lana gives a surprise test in her class. After giving some instructions to the students, she asks everyone to do their best. All the students start writing on their exam sheets, except one. A new student named Benny doesn't write anything on his paper. Instead, he stares at Lana with a look of obsession. Lana notices Benny staring at her, but doesn't say anything. She stays focused on her work. Later, she goes to pick up her daughter from the preschool area. When she gets to the car, she notices Benny playing with her dog and watches him for a while. The next day at school, a student is giving a presentation in Lana's class. She listens attentively, but the whole class gets interrupted when two girls start laughing in the back. They're looking at something on their phones and don't seem interested in the class. Lana tells them to put their phones away and focus on the lesson, but they don't care what she says. They keep laughing and causing a disturbance in class. Now, Lana gets angry and asks the girls to hand over their phones as punishment. The girls give her their phones, but one of them starts disrespecting Lana and throws an insult at her. The whole class laughs at Lana, and she tells the girl to leave the classroom immediately. During this chaos, Benny has a very serious expression on his face. He seems upset. Later, Lana goes to the staff room to get a cup of tea. She looks out the window and notices the girl who disrespected her being harassed by a boy. The boy throws her backpack on the ground and even tosses her bike aside. It turns out the boy is none other than Benny, and he's teaching the girl a lesson in revenge for disrespecting the teacher. Then, a colleague enters the room, and Lana tells her the whole situation. She mentions how the new kid, Benny, is a bit strange, but doesn't say anything about the looks they exchange. Later, Lana asks Benny to come see her privately. As expected, the sexual tension between them rises as soon as they enter a closed room. Lana tries to stay calm by asking Benny if he's enjoying his new school, but he responds coldly, asking what she wants from him. She explains that she's just worried about his performance in school and that she saw him bullying another student. But while trying to talk to him, she accidentally places her hand on Benny's leg. This makes him smile because he thinks she's interested in him. Lana quickly covers it up by asking if he expects something from her. But Benny laughs and says she can't help him. Then he gives her a mocking smile and asks if they're done for the day, to which Lana says yes before leaving the room. That same night, while grading her students' exams at home, Lana notices that Benny's grades are low compared to the others. This worries her because she wants him to improve his performance. The next day, Lana teaches her class as usual. She's about to leave when she notices Benny's backpack on the floor. She picks it up and opens it. She finds Benny's sweater inside, so she takes it out and smells it. After this, she runs to the bathroom to wash up. To her surprise, Benny comes up behind her and starts touching her inappropriately. Lana's expressions show she's enjoying it, but she tries with all her strength to make him stop. She says they shouldn't be doing this, but he doesn't listen and keeps going. Just when she's about to give in to Benny's touch, she suddenly steps back and denies him. Then she tells him this kind of situation must never happen again. Before leaving, she also warns him that if he ever tries to touch her again, she'll make sure he gets expelled. The next day at school, Lana tries to focus on her work, but she seems distracted. She gives the students an in-class assignment, but Benny doesn't do his work and just stares at her. After class, Benny approaches Lana in the hallway and invites her to meet him that night. However, Lana firmly says no and explains that what happened between them was a mistake and should never happen again. She goes out to the parking lot and finds her car completely trashed. The door is cracked and the side mirrors are broken. She looks around to find who's responsible, but there's no one nearby. At this point, she thinks Benny might be taking revenge because she rejected him. Later, Lana picks up her daughter from school and notices a group of young kids. She thinks one of them is Benny because he's wearing a black hoodie, but she is just imagining it. When she gets home that day, she starts working in the garden to distract herself. Her husband comes over and asks what happened to the car, but Lana quickly makes up a story about driving too close to a streetlight. Her husband is suspicious and says he doubts a streetlight could cause that kind of damage, but she insists that's what happened. After this cold interaction, her husband just walks away. The next day, Lana gives her students another assignment in class. This time, they have to write a cover letter explaining why they're qualified for an internship. When Lana asks if anyone has questions, Benny raises his hand. He laughs and asks if it's really worth going that far just to get a job. He keeps making double-meaning jokes, and the whole class bursts into laughter. Lana gets really angry, grabs his backpack, and throws it outside while yelling at him to leave the room. Unfortunately, all the other students are being disrespectful too and take Benny's side. One of them even throws an eraser at the board. Seeing this, Lana walks out of the classroom and goes home. The next morning, she goes for a run in the woods, but feels like someone's following her. She stops and looks around for a moment, but she doesn't see anyone there. Still, she quickly runs away from the spot. Later that day, she's reading a story to her daughter when the phone starts ringing. She answers, but no one speaks on the other end. This keeps happening for a while until she realizes it's Benny trying to annoy her. She hangs up the phone and sets it aside. After a while, she goes to school to teach her classes, but stops when she sees Benny sitting inside the classroom. She feels really uncomfortable, so she decides to leave, pretending she's sick and asking her boss for the day off. At home, Lana's husband asks about her day and why she came back so early. She lies and tells him she gave her students an interview assignment and left early. The next morning, after dropping her daughter off at school, she stops by the river. She takes a few moments to think about what's happening. Then she decides to go to the museum to clear her mind. While walking around and enjoying the artwork, she suddenly notices Benny. It turns out he's been following her everywhere. Lana panics and tries to escape the place. She runs down the stairs, but Benny keeps following her. Then she manages to get into the elevator, but just as the doors are about to close, Benny steps in too. Now the two of them are trapped inside the elevator together. Benny asks her to come back to class, but she doesn't say anything. Then he starts caressing her face and touching her slowly all over. Lana feels attracted to him too, since she doesn't stop him. She tries to take his face and kiss him, but he stops her. Then he keeps kissing her neck and playing with her in the elevator. When Lana gets home that day, she tells her husband about a nightmare she had. She says that while her husband and daughter were at the beach, she saw herself being pulled into the ocean. The current was so strong that he couldn't pull her out. Lana gets really emotional while telling this dream, so her husband comforts her. The next morning, Lana goes for a run, but stops by the river for a while. She throws a rock into the sea and starts planning something. Later, she arrives at school, but instead of going to class, she sneaks into the office. There, she steals the upcoming final exams and slips them into Benny's coat. She knows someone will catch him, and that's exactly what happens. While Lana is in the staff room with other teachers, she sees Benny being stopped by security outside. They expel him from school immediately for stealing the exams, and Lana is thrilled to know he won't be a problem in her life anymore. In the next scene, Lana and her husband are enjoying a romantic moment by the lake. Suddenly, her husband disappears, and she starts to panic. Then he yells as he comes up from the water, and that's when Lana wakes up from her dream. It seems she was having another nightmare. Even though everything is supposed to be fine in her life now, Lana starts missing Benny after a few days. She begins fantasizing about the times he groped her in the bathroom and the elevator. She also misses seeing his cute face in class. Eventually, she gets so desperate for him that she fantasizes about having sex with him. One day, she takes her daughter to a bookstore to buy her a gift. However, just as she's about to leave, she realizes her daughter is gone. She tries to look for her, but the little girl is nowhere to be found. She immediately reports it to the store owners and the police. Then, while reviewing the security camera footage, she sees Benny leaving the store with her daughter. Before she can talk to the police about him, she gets a call from her husband, saying he found their daughter. She apologizes to the police for causing a scene and goes back home with her family. Later, Lana wakes up in the middle of the night because she hears loud, repeated banging on the front door. Her husband is asleep, so she slowly walks to the door. She's scared of seeing Benny on the other side, but to her relief, it's just a storm. Lana keeps having sexual fantasies about Benny all the time and can't focus on anything else. Even when she's working in the kitchen, she's too caught up in her thoughts about Benny until her husband yells her name from behind. After all this, Lana drives straight to Benny's house and waits patiently outside. After a while, he shows up on his scooter and rides off. Seeing this, she starts following him down the road. When they finally reach an isolated area with no other cars, she takes a deep breath and then violently crashes her car into his scooter, making him fall to the ground. She keeps driving a little further and eventually stops her car. In the final scene, she takes a moment to compose herself before getting out to go check on him. If you were Lana, what would you do with Benny? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel. Thanks for watching.